The media is all in a tizzy again over another one of President Trump's comments. Now, in a tizzy seems to be their natural state. The New York Times took issue with President Trump's assertion that Democrat-led cities have allowed violent thugs to run rampant in the streets. Seriously, where does he get these crazy ideas? Well, maybe from watching the real news. Even the New York Times was forced to report the tragically bloody holiday weekend in Chicago, where at least 72 people were shot between Friday morning and Sunday night, 15 fatally. They included a 7-year-old girl who was visiting her grandmother when she was killed by drive-by shooters who attacked a family gathering, including a number of children. Several other victims, as young as 10, were wounded around Chicago. New York City had 44 shootings with 63 victims, the direct result of Mayor Bill de Blasio's dismantling the effective policing that Rudy Giuliani instituted when he brought the city back from the devastation of the Mayor David Dinkins years. And in Atlanta, 8-year-old Sequoia Turner, riding in a car with her mother and another adult, when they came just a little too close to where protesters were gathered at the burned-out Wendy's, whose parking lot was the site of the police shooting of Rayshard Brooks. The group opened fire on the car, hitting it multiple times and killing the innocent little girl. She was black, but apparently her life didn't matter to them, no more than any of the other victims of the violence that has raged since the death of George Floyd, something that people of all races and political views equally condemned. Over the weekend, 4 people, including Sequoia Turner, were killed in Atlanta alone. The heartbreaking murder of Sequoia Turner finally convinced Atlanta's Democratic Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms to say, enough is enough, and order the area around the former Wendy's to be cleared out. So now it's enough lawlessness and death? And who's going to clear it out? The police, I assume. I wonder if even this would be enough if the Republican governor, Brian Kemp, hadn't declared a state of emergency and ordered 1,000 National Guard troops to Atlanta to protect government buildings that Bottoms would not protect. Maryland's Republican governor may soon have to do the same thing in Baltimore. Frankly, I'm sick of hearing these Democratic officials say, Black Lives Matter, and then standing back and allowing black people to be killed by rampaging criminals. If any lives matter to them at all, then knock off the fatuous rhetoric and let the police stop the killing. And it's certainly not just me who feels this way. Over the weekend in Washington, D.C., an 11-year-old boy named Devon McNeil was killed by a stray bullet. Devon's grandfather gave a heart-wrenching plea to his community to stop the violence and pay attention to what their boys are doing. He also had some moving words for those touting the Black Lives Matter slogan.
And everybody just saying they're just tired of the shootings in the community. Everybody's running around here thinking they're Uzi-toting, dope-sucking, psychopathic killing machines, and they're just destroying lives. But we're protesting for months, for weeks, saying Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter, it seems like only when a police officer shoot a black person. What about all the black-on-black crime that's happening in the community?
So what does the media have to say about all this? Well, you need look no further than the example of Don Lemon over at CNN to find your answer. In an interview with Terry Crews on Monday evening, Don Lemon first confronted the actor and activist for a tweet that he put out on July 4th that read this: "Are all white people bad? No. Are all black people good? No. Knowing this reality, I stand on my decision to unite with good people, no matter the race, creed, or ideology. Given the number of threats against this decision, I also decide to die on this hill." Now, one might presume that this is the most innocuous statement ever made, but Don Lemon told Crews that he had, quote, stepped in it. Why, you may ask? Well, because according to Don Lemon, not all black lives do matter.
You're talking about a month, and you have 9 black kids, and the Black Lives Matter movement has said nothing.
I don't understand what that has to do with a movement that's for equality for black people. If you want an all Black Lives Matter movement that talks about gun violence, in communities, including, black communities, then start that movement with that name. But that's not what Black Lives Matter is about.
So there you have it. According to Don Lemon, Black Lives Matter is not about black lives. The only lives that matter to him, and apparently the Black Lives Matter organization, are the 0.001% of black men killed by police, many of which, though certainly not all, were justified killings. The life of 8-year-old Sequoia Turner doesn't matter to Don. The 7-year-old visiting grandma doesn't matter to Don. Compared to last year, hundreds of excessive homicides have occurred in major cities like New York, Philadelphia, Minneapolis, Atlanta, and all of them a direct result of a lightened police presence. According to Don Lemon, those lives just don't matter. And saying Black Lives Matter isn't for those lives. Now, if you want to cover those lives, you need to come up with a new slogan. We need more good principled people like Terry Crews who know how to address the problem without going overboard, to stand up to people like Don Lemon. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel below and clicking the notification bell if you did. Now, be sure to like and to share this video so all your Democrat friends will see it too. And if you want more of my news analysis and commentary, sign up for my newsletter on MikeHuckabee.com. It is totally free. Unlike the government, it won't cost you a dime. That's it for this edition of The Breakdown. I'm Mike Huckabee.